In today's episode, Fiona asks, what are CAC and LTV and why are they important? Now, these are two very important metrics. They're business level metrics, and what they stand for is customer acquisition cost and lifetime value, is typically CLV or CLTV, customer lifetime value. The reason these things are important, these metrics are important, is because this is the basis on which all of your marketing analytics should be founded on. So customer acquisition cost is pretty straightforward. What does it cost for you to acquire a customer from the moment a person first becomes aware of your brand all the way to when a person is a paying customer? What does it cost to do that? And that is something that a lot of marketers do really wrong because they typically include only the hard dollar costs and not everything. So consider what it takes to get someone in the door. There is obviously any hard dollars you spend on like ads, for example. There is the salesperson's salary and time. There's the marketer's salary and time. There is the marketing automation software cost, the website hosting and IT costs, the electricity it takes to run all of the things, the utility bills that you pay, everything that you could have as part of the cost of acquiring a customer goes into that CAC number, and it is a lengthy computation. That's why most companies only do it, once or twice a year, if that. But it's a vital number. So, what does it cost to acquire a customer? Do not make the mistake of simply taking hard dollar costs, like, hey, we spent this much on ads. That's only return on ad spend. You're going to get that kind of number out. You're not going to get true customer acquisition costs unless you take into account everything it took to get that customer. So that's one. The second is, what is the lifetime value of a customer? So that is the revenue that they spent the first time around, any incremental revenue, and if you have a really sophisticated model, what is the value of a happy customer's evangelism, meaning the marketing that they're going to go do and tell their friends about your company that will essentially reduce your marketing costs. If you do a great job of getting people to love your company, then you'll be able to improve that customer lifetime value, was the value of a happy customer. So those are the first two numbers. Now, those numbers form the basis of your marketing analytics computations. Every time somebody says, what should we set for our goals and goal values in Google Analytics, it begins with CAC and CLV. So let's do some math here. If you took CLV, the customer lifetime value, and you subtracted CAC, the customer acquisition cost, you have the net customer value. That is essentially, in some ways, like your revenue, or it should be very close to your revenue. If that number is zero, you're going out of business, right? If that number is negative, you're going out of business. And even if that number is less than the overhead for the rest of the business, you're going out of business, right? Your customers have to be so valuable that it offsets not only the cost of acquiring them, but also the cost of the rest of the business, because that's just such an essential part. So CLV minus CAC is net customer value. Now, this is where you start building out your sales and marketing operations funnel. So think about every step in the funnel. There's audience, when someone first becomes aware of you. There are people who are in the consideration phase, right? They're thinking about you. They're subscribed to your emails and newsletters and stuff. There is evaluation, where they have a demonstrated purchase need, and then there's, of course, the purchase. And we see this laid out in marketing operations software with things like audience, suspects, prospects, marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, deals, opportunities, proposal, negotiation, closed won, closed lost. You'll see those terms a lot in sales CRMs. Every step of that funnel, and this is for an operations perspective because the customer journey is rarely so linear, but every step of that funnel internally, there's a rate of change between steps. So there's a rate of change between marketing qualified lead and sales qualified lead. Marketing says the lead's qualified, sales says it's not. So a percentage of marketing qualified leads will not be sales qualified leads. So what you want to do is take that net customer value and amortize it up the funnel. So let's do a quick example. If the net customer value of one of your customers is $10,000, and it takes 10 sales deals, let's do sales deals. Set 10 sales deals to get to one customer. That means the effective value of a sales deal is $1,000, right? Because it takes 10 to get one new customer. And for the value of a new customer is $10,000, divide it by 10, you have a $1,000 deal value. Now, from deal value, if you go up one level and you go to something like sales qualified leads, which is a very popular metric, what percentage of sales qualified leads turn into deals? Let's call it 10% again, right? So that $1,000 deal becomes a $100 sales qualified lead. Now, we go up one more level. Someone is on your website and they become a marketing qualified lead. Let's say 10% of the marketing qualified leads are sales qualified leads. So now that your value is 10,000, your deal is 1,000, your sales qualified lead is 100, your marketing qualified lead is worth $10. Right, and if you go up one more level to like prospects, you have like a $1 prospect. Well, guess what? If you are tracking prospect generation in Google Analytics, you would put in a dollar value of 1, right? Because every 10,000 prospects will turn into 1,000 marketing qualified leads, will turn into 100 sales qualified leads, will turn into 10 deals, turn into 1 new customer, and then you know the value of that customer. So that's how you would do those goals and goal values. Now, why is that important? If you are trying to do the valuation of any individual channel, like social media, for example, in your Google Analytics needs to know what a prospect, what a goal completion is worth. So if you've put that in based on your CAC and CLV and working your way up that ladder until you reach somewhere in that funnel that Google Analytics can track, like prospects, when someone fills out a form and completes something on your website. Now Google can then do its own math and spread out that value across your website. So it can say, hey, referral traffic is worth this much, search traffic is worth this much, ad traffic is worth this much, and social media traffic is worth this much. That in turn gives you the ability to say, our social media has a real ROI or it doesn't, right? Because we know from a prospect generation perspective, it's a prospect's worth $1, and if we're spending $1.50 on acquiring prospects through social media, we're losing money. It's an inefficient channel. So that's why these numbers are important. It sounds very simple to walk through this, but this type of process that you go through actually requires, it can take weeks or even months to boil down all the data, because you have to get it from all the different departments in your company. You have to go talk to accounting, you have to talk to sales, you got to get into the CRM and the ERP and all this stuff to pull the data together and then run this analysis. But if you do it, if you get in the habit of doing it, you'll be able to have very, very firm math behind your Google Analytics goals, your marketing goals, your social media goals, doesn't matter what kind, but you will get real numbers that you can rely on and plan on it instead of, at best, educated guesses for the effectiveness of your marketing. So great question, complex process, but this is the structure of how you do it. As always, please leave comments in the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.